Yeah. What's up, guys? We are live for episode 62 of The Scope. Excited to be here. I look forward to this every Monday. I am joined by two of my great content creating friends, Buffner Gaming and Blue the Robot. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. He's here.
Blues
We're here.
rising.
I was chilling with that lo-fi music.
I know, me too. Almost, it put me to sleep. So that's why there was a gap between the countdown and the intros, because I fell asleep. I just passed out.
We have to wake him up, guys. Don't worry.
I was too relaxed. So it was too good. Yeah. So how's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Oh,
Can't
yeah,
complain.
Good.
Another Monday.
You guys been playing video games or what?
No, not me.
I've actually gotten a few games of World War III in, surprisingly.
Ooh, there you go.
Is it the big comeback? Is that what's going on?
No, it's the same shit, but it's every time I go back, I'm like, it was right there.
I know,
mean,
dude.
You know, it still has some
So
of the same
close.
issues, but it's we'll see what happens in March. It's but other than that, no, just
There's
me
some stuff
myself specifically. I graduate on Friday, so
There you go.
looking forward to
Congrats.
that.
Are we gonna get a video of you walking on the stage? Are you doing the whole thing?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100. I don't know. I'm recording the whole set. It is gonna be live streamed.
Oh shit!
All right.
Nice.
We need to get a
Full
clip.
Sail does it big, man. Full Sail does it big.
We got to get a clip of you walking on the stage. We can play it next week. Everybody can
Yeah, I
shower
gotta
you
get
with
that for sure.
congratulations. It's a big deal.
Hell
Man,
yeah.
that's awesome. That's a lot of work to get a degree, dude. A lot of work,
Yeah. It's whew,
in
but
my humble opinion.
I'm making it.
Yeah, that's good. Buff, you DMZ in. I know you love cheaters. I've seen that on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Twitter's my my therapy. It's like where I take out all my aggression. If people haven't noticed
I've seen
already.
it.
Yeah, people haven't noticed. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, I did see a cheater in World War III.
No,
2 days in a
really?
row.
They're everywhere, man.
Like blatant cheating, just hit fire LMG at a wall, getting headshots across the map.
Why?
His name was changing like mid game too, so like whoever he killed, it would be like, oh, that person killed you. It was weird, dude.
Wow,
But
that's messed
I was
up.
able to I messaged one of the devs and I was able to just specifically like directly send them that. So it's nice to have those connections, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
it was sad. I'm like, but the weirdest part is that he said, "Oh, that shouldn't be happening." It's like,
well,
Should
did
yeah,
you fix something?
yeah.
Should not be happening.
So I'm jealous because there are so many
Cheaters, man.
times whenever you play against a cheater, and I'm just like, God, I wish I knew somebody at Activision or even like the toxic people that just spew like slurs and stuff in voice chat that should get banned. That
Yeah.
won't. It's like, dude, I wish I knew somebody and could like email them this
I
clip, dude.
know.
Because they won't even in COD. I tried. So I have these clips of these people just breaking TOS and trying to be edgy, and I just want them banned so bad because they're so stupid. And I tried to open up a support ticket, and they won't let you. Like they won't let you open up a support ticket for that. They say just report it, and we'll handle it. And it's like, no, you
Oh
won't.
my god, just
You won't, though.
the report function.
It doesn't do anything because there's a guy I played against, and he was really toxic, just spewing like the worst shit imaginable. And we all reported him for toxic voice chat. I blocked him. Another week later, I got in a match, and he was bragging about how everybody reports him, but that he got a week ban. He's been unbanned, and people just keep reporting him, and he's like, they don't care anymore. I can say whatever I want. And he just like saying the worst shit still. It's like,
Is it? I was just thinking about that because, like, like back in the day when Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3, like those voice comms were pretty bad back then. I mean, they were definitely. It was the Wild West,
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, like, where does like edgelord and actually becoming offensive? Like, where is the line
I
that
don't know.
gets
It's
drawn?
I feel like back then it was like actual shit talk though, not
That one,
not
yeah,
like a
you're
bunch
actually
of
like,
racist
yeah,
garbage, yeah.
your mom, jokes and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you were like actually talking trash, and now it's just like people being racist like jerks. It's like
yeah, that's true.
like my dad will beat up your dad type shit.
My dad has a better KD than your
Yeah.
dad.
It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Go outside.
Today, for those of you We're smoking the Cal MX2 cigar.
Ooh,
The
look at it
so
go.
the
That is a dark
MX2 stands
fucking
for
one, dude.
Maduro times 2. So Maduro is the darker leaf. So it has a Maduro Connecticut broadleaf wrapper and a Brazilian binder that's also Maduro. In other words, it's real strong, and I don't know if I can get through the whole thing without turning green. So stay tuned to the program, and you'll see if I can pull through on this thing or not.
Yeah, if Crash gets sick midway through, or
Are you
starts getting
one
loopy,
sit
we'll know.
and finish it all type guy?
I try to, but I don't. I really doubt we should put up a poll. I really doubt I can get through this thing without having to
Dude,
stop.
that like
Do
let's
you
let's
think you
not.
can get? I mean, well, let's say it's 6:39 now. I mean, for my time, like by the time we end it, it's probably like 8:30 my time. So like 2 hours ish.
This will last the whole time. Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah, but do you
like,
think are you gonna finish it in 2
We'll
hours?
give it a go. We'll give it the old college try.
like Crash is a big dude, but
that's a big one.
Big cigar in Crash's hands. So I mean,
And
that's a monster.
This
cigar.
thing's huge, and I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigars as often as I want to. So like I don't handle the
I want to get into
nicotine
it
as good.
more myself.
I haven't smoked one in a long time. You're making me want one now. I got the
Yeah,
need to
I'm
find
more
special
of a
occasion.
social smoker. I don't, I wouldn't do it just at my house. I would do it out with friends or at a
Exactly,
cigar
yeah.
shop
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. I like doing
He's
it.
like, yeah, as he's smoking it at his house.
I'm the same though. Like
Alone.
I don't want to smoke it too much on my own, like while I'm working or something. But like if I'm streaming or playing games or doing the show, like it's where it's at. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's chill. That's why I like. That's why I'm a big fan of the cigars.
I like smoking them on the
you know.
range too. When we shoot sporting
Oh,
clays,
yeah.
and
I saw. Can we talk about that real quick? That your range day, but was that a older photo? You were like, oh, I want to get back into.
it was a couple years
shooting.
ago. Yeah. This was before a shoot. I could pull it up. It's pretty funny if you guys want to see it.
Man, that was top tier Chad energy.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So this is
the double barrel folded over.
Yeah, so this is, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you playing at home, this is Crash going to the range for a sporting clays competition. This is what you roll up on, like when you see that roll up to the course, we're gonna break some targets. All right,
GG's.
don't even
The
worry
shooting
about
glasses, the cigar. I'm guessing, yeah. What is that like? Some kind of like ammo strap, like leather.
it. Oh yeah, so the bag
like
is
that,
it's a shell bag, so that carries all the ammo. And then
Sick.
the little thing in the front, it like holds the box, so you put the box of shells in there while you're up at the station shooting. And then that's it.
It was a good photo. New profile pic.
I love it.
Surprised it wasn't before.
I
know,
think
right?
I think we could have a good time doing some streams at
You know what? I know I have an artist friend that could take that and make it into a sick drawing, and that would be like a really cool photo for like profile
mount
picture.
that on your wall behind you, just like a
Or
portrait
even
of
that, yeah. Just have it. You know
This
what?
is-
Get the old school oil painting in a giant golden frame, and it's
mount that
just
on the wall in the back.
right by the fireplace.
And
We'll
I'm
have to
gonna
get
buy one
Mid-Journey.
too.
We'll have to get
Buy one.
Mid-Journey to do it.
Yeah, there
To
you
be
go.
honest, yeah.
Oh jeez. We'll get into that later. Don't worry. Yeah, version 5 Mid-Journey.
Foreshadowing.
We're gonna talk about a little bit. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about in the intro. Are you guys ready?
Oh god.
The person Blue has no idea what's about to happen. I'm about to introduce you guys the meme of the show today. I don't know if you guys know this. You probably have heard of Blood Pop. You probably haven't heard of Blood Pop. Blood Pop is one of Lady Gaga's producers, and he said he's gonna single-handedly save FPS games. So we're good.
What?
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome.
Don't even worry about it. Here is the article.
Yeah, please tell me about this.
Here's the article. You're gonna love it. Let me pull it up. I gotta get faster at this.
Someone's name is Blood Pop. I mean, I'm already confidence through the moon.
Blood
about
Pop.
this.
That's Blood Pop, and he is gonna save shooters, change the shooter genre, quote unquote. Starting the
Monsters
studio
Game
Gin Pop
Studio.
Interactive is ready to rock, man.
Well,
change the
All right, then.
shooter genre.
Yeah,
It's a third person shooter. Huh.
it is.
Wait.
Like,
Yeah, it said he wants to do a third person shooter.
Cue the episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 2 visibly confused meme right there.
Yeah, that's an ambitious third person shooter, and then I just see that cartoonish photo with the word Gen Z that pops out.
Gen Z is eager for a new IP that speaks to them and has a long legacy that defines our generation, said Blood Pop. Blood Pop's doing it, man.
Great.
So in honor of that, we got Blood Pop. He's ready. All the
Blood
screens
Pop's
ready to save us at any time. All right. So guys, anytime we have a problem with first person shooters, this man is our savior right here. Blood Pop is going to come in and help us. So we'll call up on Blood Pop from time to time, and he'll help us. So everyone, don't worry. Blood Pop.
I hear he's going to be on the show pretty soon too. I think we have that in the works.
Yeah, I'll call Lady Gaga and get it going. We'll get it in the works. It's no problem. But
easy.
Shout out Blood Pop. We're excited to see what you got coming down the pipeline, pal. So, but anytime Blood Pop could appear on the screen, you just don't know. Yeah. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today is not Blood Pop. I'm so sorry. I know you're excited, but you can't do it.
That's upsetting.
2042, allegedly is getting a year 2 of support, according to a leak on the Origin API. And then also to couple with this, since we're talking about Battlefield, I thought it would be cool to put in the BR talk, because BR talk in Battlefield, it comes around. It's like moon cycles, you know. Every now and then we have to talk about BR, and here you go. Battle Royale came up again with a tweet from Westy. We can pull that up here in a minute, but we're going to have an overall Battlefield discussion at this point in the game. What happened with the year 2 stuff is essentially there was an Origin API leak that found a placeholder for a year 2 upgrade pack for Battlefield 2042. I have several questions. One of them being, I feel like we're already in year 2. If you do the math on the amount of days since release, closing in on 500 days, there are 365 days in a year, if you didn't know. So that's a little weird. And then also, I'm hopeful that it's maps also, and not just a battle pass pack, because you know Rainbow Six Siege has their battle pass. The maps and everything like that are free, and all that stuff's free, but they have a battle pass, and they call it like the year 8 pass, and you get like a discount, and it gives you all the battle passes. I really hope it's more than that. What do you guys think a year 2, quote unquote year 2 for Battlefield 2042?
Need a year's worth of content.
What if it was like 3 maps, like 2 new maps and 1 remastered map for Portal, like every 3 months or the next year? Because
then it had to be more content than you've had throughout the whole game's life cycle so far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if this cigar is filled with 100% hopium? And I'm huffing it over here.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
And since they don't have to do a specialist, there's no more specialists coming. We're gonna get more maps, right? Wouldn't you think?
Did they confirm there's no more specialists coming? Is that something that was said? Okay,
that's 100% confirmed. The last one, the Camilla Blasco or whatever, is the last one.
I don't really know. So it's not confirmed yet, right?
Shit.
So it's not confirmed. So just take it with a grain of salt, right? But I do think I don't have high hopes for it. I wouldn't expect to get more out of year 2 than you would out of the game's initial first 4 seasons that they were obligated to provide. If you get more out of the quote unquote year 2, that'd be weird. I think it's just going to be kind of like a dump of weapons, probably stuff into or from Portal, and then some remastered maps, things like that. Kind of like they did with Battlefield 5 at the end of the life cycle. Just like a bunch of all the other assets, just kind of throw it out there, but they'll probably drip feed it somehow.
Tom Henderson with the 10 gifted in chat. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate that. The man himself, the myth, the legend, Tom Henderson is here. Blood Pop thanks you Blood Pop is here, and he says thank you as well for the 10 gifted, dude. I really appreciate that, man.
For the future FPS gaming.
Yeah. So you might want to leak it on Insider Gaming that Blood Pop is the future of FPS gaming. So don't even worry about it. But dude, thank you so much. That's really kind of you, man. I hope you're doing well. Your website is killing it. I love to see it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of almost feel like Portal's like dead. I don't know.
Portal's been dead. It's all about XP farming and that's it.
Nothing added to it.
The only one I've seen that was decent was of Afghanistan Wars, Milsim or something like that, and it was just Battlefield. It was like Battlefield Bad Company hardcore. That was it,
I know Karma Cut had a Milsim server up
that died
originally.
So fast.
But that was like where I played was like that. And there was some that were really similar to that. But yeah, as soon as he stopped like doing anything with it, obviously it died. But that was where I think that was probably some of the most fun I had in the game. But then you can only play the same stuff so many times.
And that was back when he needed to be playing when the server needed to be up.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They didn't have persistent
If he wasn't on, then that was
and
it.
He'd be streaming it. Yeah. So he'd be streaming it and I would jump on typically during that time.
Go play Arma.
I know.
You have to say it. I'm just so frustrated because when the news of Portal came out, I was so excited. I thought it was such an awesome move by DICE because it's such a unique and cool way. Like Call of Duty, when they bring back old maps, they just bring it back. Here you go, play this map over and over again.
Right.
This was such a cool way to experience old content and mix and match everything. And there's still people making really neat modes and doing cool stuff with Portal, especially at launch. I just cannot fathom why they haven't put like fan favorite maps in there. Like the metros, the Savods, like the iconic maps. It's so perfect for that. I don't get it.
Even just the tools needed to really make it your own. I mean, I look at Halo's Infinite Forge now and what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
way more intense and way more incredible work. Just basically giving the engine to the players. It feels like so.
I think it was even Far Cry 5. I think had a some mode in there where you could like build your own maps and have these like mini games and stuff that were shared amongst the community. And that was back in, what was that, like 2017? I think it was, maybe 2018. I mean, so there's, I mean, a lot of missed opportunities here. I think they're doing the best they can. I would like to see what they added with
a lot
this
of damage control.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's damage control. There's really nothing they're going to do at this point that's going to just like bring this game back from the dead. I think it's going to keep the players that are playing it around for longer, but it's not going to gain any new interest. But I do think they owe that to the guys, the people that are playing, and at least to get this game to a stable place, I guess. But I do really hope they've learned their lessons this time around, and everything they're doing now is hopefully refining everything for the next title, because especially with the engine changes and everything going on, you have a lot of new DICE teams. So I think the more they work on this game, the better. That's better experience if they're staying with the Frostbite engine, which it would seem like they're going.
I'm curious if this was just like their like you said, like their way of just getting stuff ready.
Right.
I mean, this was a huge difference from other Battlefields. So yeah, that would make sense. But
let's support it so we know so we can have an easier time with the dev cycle for the next game, and we understand the engine and everything. They did, It's unfortunate that the game released where it was, but I mean that's best case scenario. I think is they support year 2, they do a lot of stuff, and that's more hands-on time and learning, knowledge transfer, everything for the development team, and they can take all of that practice that they've put into what is going to be the final product for 2042 and bring it into Battlefield. What is it going to be, 7 at that point? So, or whatever they end up calling it. Hopefully,
I like Fresh's idea. Just call it Battlefield.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do for sure.
But the year 2 pass gives me hope, since my cigar is completely filled with opium. That they at least can like trickle out. They can at least trickle out a couple maps and support it up until the next one. When they ended Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 3 or Battlefront 2, whatever, dude. My brain is not working. You gotta help me, guys. Please.
It's a cigar.
Battlefield 2.5.
I'm hoping that we can at least get like at least trickled content until the next title, so there's not just that absolute content disaster. And it's sad that I've been gaslit into a position where I just want trickled content, and that's my hope. But I hope we can get just a little bit more content while we wait on the next title, and I hope the next title is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they would be smart to start bringing in a lot of the older maps, like like you said, Chris, the maps that resonate with the Battlefield community, like Metro and some of those other ones that are staples for the franchise. I think that's the best thing they could do at this point.
And just keeping content coming out and something to look forward to up until the next title would be ideal. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy for this game as long as they're working really hard on the next one. That's kind of what my hope is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But I have been having a good time in the game. I played this weekend. They had a mode under Portal called Infantry Conquest. So there wasn't any heavy armor. It was just the vehicles, the transport vehicles. Yeah, and I had a really good time. When I was playing on Valparaiso, I was shitting on people, man. That's just pretty much just worried about gunplay. I had
you don't got to worry about tanks coming around the corner.
It was fun.
Or jets or helicopters. Yeah.
I do like fighting against vehicles from time to time, but it was cool just to settle in with an LMG and see how many people it could kill. I had a 65 kill game on the Valparaiso map, and that felt good. That was a good one.
That's what the new World War III game mode's coming out with. The FUBAR is basically just infantry conquest.
That'll be sweet. I kind of like those game modes. It's fun to just shoot. I like playing infantry, so
it's more. It's more. It feels like it's more mindless.
Yeah, which has been the perfect blend for me because I've been able to play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege lately, and it's nice to switch over to a Battlefield and just put on. I was just listening to music too. Just listening to music, running around shooting at bad guys. It was pretty fun.
That's what's always good about Battlefield. You can just kind of. I mean, no matter what the game, you can just relax. It's like it's a very less stressful experience. It's
just fun too. And last night I had played with some friends too. We were just laughing around, running around together, having a good time. USA Specialist popped in, and we were just running around being goofy, and that's what Battlefield's about. And 2042 is to the point where I can kind of have fun doing that again. Mm-hmm. I'm also wondering. I have all these conspiracy theories in my head. About why we don't get some of those maps.
Really gotta get those aluminum foil.
Dude, we got Blood Pop, but we don't got aluminum hats. One step at a time, guys. We'll ask Blood Pop what he thinks. But we people that just joined are gonna be like, who the fuck? But I feel like there's a reason we haven't seen any of the really tight close quarters urban maps and the crazy ones. I think there's engine limitations here, and it has to do with the new engine and crossplay at 128 players. Because if you also look at the maps that they remastered and they chose for Portal, those are also pretty small, and they're also pretty wide open maps too. Like any of the Portal maps are wide open. Like all of the maps have a lot of wide open space. There's no dense urban ones like Metro, or even one of the ones with like a lot of buildings like Siege of Shanghai
or anything like that.
Locker, none of those.
There's nothing like that. That's really tight, close quarters infantry maps, and I think it's it's an engine thing.
Yeah, when players make more better, like I guess like concept art for this game compared to what has actually come out. Like there was a concept art of what Siege of Shanghai would look now, and it looked absolutely amazing. And someone just randomly decided to make a fan-made concept art version of it.
Oh man, I'd love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. I'm hoping they get to it, and then and we can definitely talk about that too, because I think the battle royale discussion that Westy started this week, brought back this week, could lead us into that too, with a reminder. I was gonna make a video on this, I haven't got around to it, but a reminder of what Vince Zampella said about the connected universe that they're going for. And I don't know. I have been hitting some hopium on Battlefield lately because I look at some of that stuff and like, has Vince Zampella ever like made a shitty game? No, I don't think so. So, I mean, there's still some hope there, and they want to do a lot of different stuff. So I guess if you guys are cool, you want to talk about your thoughts. I've said it quite a bit. I hope people aren't tired of it, but about a battle royale in Battlefield.
Yeah, why don't you
I'll pull
do we
that
have that tweet from Westy? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Production
Firestorm
team,
was
do your thing.
man.
Boom on it. Yeah. You go
Again,
ahead,
if it
Blue.
wasn't
You said Firestorm.
a paid element to it,
I agree.
that's all it was, in my opinion.
And you know what? They did that. I think that was the same time when COD had Blackout going on, and Black Ops 4 sold well because it was a Black Ops title. And then the Blackout mode was literally what I bought that game for. So my buddies and I would just had a blast with it. And then Firestorm came out later on after that with Battlefield 5. However, Battlefield 5 was received obviously very, very poorly from that initial trailer. So the sales were already, people didn't want to be buying the game like they would.
Half of those.
Yeah. So if it was a free mode, I agree. I think you would have had a lot more interest, and they definitely dropped the ball there. It's kind of like they did with Hazard Zone. I think Hazard Zone definitely needed a lot more work, but it's weird, 2 titles in a row they chose to keep what should have been a great opportunity for a free-to-play element to gain favor and gain interest. They chose to put it behind a paywall. It doesn't really make much sense.
I'm just not a fan. I mean, like, battle royales have been around for so long. I'm not a fan of it as much as I am more extraction game modes. That's why I was so excited, even more so, for Hazard Zone. I didn't think anyone. I mean, if anyone ever thought that was going to be, I mean, same thing with DMZ. They thought, Tarkov killers. That was just not going to be the case. But that's the route that it's moving into.
I agree,
and it's been moving into that ever since Tarkov really got popular. It's been that way. Because then games started implementing their own, especially also like Hunt Showdown, those type of games.
Yeah. So I mean, did you want to read his tweet? I mean, we have it on screen just to summarize what he's saying.
Yeah. So Wesley said, I still think Battlefield is the best place to make a battle royale game mode. Firestorm was a great basis, and I wish it had been given the chance. Hazard Zone, although in extraction mode, missed the mark. Battlefield Royale, it's right there. And then he went on to add some other stuff. But that's the main one. Of course, that got everybody stirred up. And of course, that's a tweet that you're going to put out and you're going to get a lot of impressions. Because people are very passionate about battle royales and about if they belong in Battlefield or not. And there's a large camp of people that I totally understand that say it doesn't belong. I am a Battlefield Royale truther. I look forward to your comments, your emails, and your tweets. You can let me have it. But I think it's good. I think it could have been good, and I think it's the perfect game to have one. I think a lot of games aren't. Call of Duty wasn't necessarily the perfect game for it, in my opinion. They made it work. But Battlefield, man, you got the Frostbite engine, you got destruction. There's not a battle royale with destruction out there of like a large magnitude like Battlefield could do. The vehicle mechanics could fit in very well as long as you have a lot of ways to counter them. You have a lot of anti-vehicle stuff on the map to counter them. Could be really cool. It could get people into the game mode. And that's just what I've said. The only way it belongs is you have to have a couple things. The first thing you have to have is you have to have a fully fledged, feature-rich, working multiplayer title at launch before you can even talk battle royale. That's first priority. That has to be done. No ifs, ands, or buts. 100%. You got to have it. Second thing where I think it could work out is it has to be free to play. This needs to be an advertisement for the Battlefield series. People get in, try it for free. Wow, this is really cool. Maybe I'll purchase the game when it's on sale and stuff and get into it. And I think the third point I would make is that I think it could work because the amount of studios you have on it, right? You have DICE, Sweden, who's always made the multiplayer, who could still focus on that. Their team is bigger than in the past. They used to get support from Ripple Effect, but now I think DICE is in a position where they need to be able to make a multiplayer game on their own over in Sweden. You have Ridgeline working. Everything's delegated, right? You have Ridgeline working on the single player stuff, and then you have Ripple Effect, who is reportedly making a new on their own experience for Battlefield, something different. They said. I don't think they said we haven't seen it yet, but they're making something different. So it could very well be something like that in the works. I would assume it is, but man, it needs to be free to play, and the content and the functionality needs to be in there in the multiplayer, or you are going to royally piss off your fan base more than you already have. Because if your multiplayer comes out broken again and lacking content again, people are instantly going to blame the BR and say, why did you spend all this time on the BR? We just won an effing Battlefield game. So
Right.
that like you have to get your house in order first before we can go down this Battlefield Royale thing. But I would love to see it. I would love to see it,
especially when there was no specialists back then too. It was just
dude.
pure
Firestorm was
gunplay.
awesome. I've always said it was good, and I even liked it back then. And I was sad to see it die. It should have been free to play, and it shouldn't. It was killed by Apex Legends too. That came out for free right around the same time.
Yeah, forgot about that one.
I never played it, but I did. I loved watching it, just simply because I wasn't going to buy the game. That's the only reason. But I did. I was watching everyone stream it. And I was like, man, this is awesome. If only it weren't behind a paywall, because I'm not. I fundamentally couldn't. I wouldn't, out of principle, not spend the money on that game because I thought it was just a big f up. So that's the only reason, and I'm sure a lot of other people. So again, hiding behind the paywall hurt. And if you had it free to play, unlock things via multiplayer, blah blah blah, then it gives you it incentivizes you to potentially buy the game. Call of Duty does a good job of that. I feel they could do a better job, but they at least do a good job of having that free to play element with unlocking things via multiplayer, etc. So,
and it 100. Don't get it twisted. Like it 100% needed tweaks to the gameplay.
right,
The circles
right.
need to start smaller,
There's
be
some
faster,
issues.
or more players. And the looting
The loot
system
drops, yeah.
really need to work, in the inventory could use some tweaks. But man, it was cool. It was a beautiful map. I would argue it's one of the best, most beautiful BR maps that's out there, and that could be because
it was really big too, right? It was close to, I forgot the size comparison. Maybe you remember Crash or Blue, but it was like very similar to, I think, one of the PUBG big maps, if not bigger.
Yeah,
it was like one of the biggest VR maps, I think, at the time, at least, if I remember correctly.
JD over in your chat has a really good question that I think would give me an opportunity to clarify things a little bit. Yes, wasn't that how 2042 was developed? Multiple studios working on the title. Yes, but it was still pretty delegated. So Ripple Effect was still just working on Portal, and then Criterion was mainly doing vehicle stuff. So I really think the vast majority of the multiplayer portion of 2042 and Hazard Zone was done by DICE and Criterion, which still could be the case. Ripple Effect was working on Portal. So my thinking is that instead of working on Portal, Ripple Effect could do the Battlefield Royale. And it could work if the new leadership, Vince, Byron Bede, the other guy I can't think of, Rebecca Kutaz, if they could get, DICE Sweden to on the right path. I think they have incredibly talented developers, and that's why I think a lot of it rides on them. If they can get them pointed down the right path, I think they could still knock it out of the park. I'm gonna have some more of my opium cigar.
I think I think you're right, Crash. It kind of all comes down to what happens in that boardroom, those initial meetings.
Feels like it.
Putting out the drawing, laying out. I mean, that's what when we interviewed. I forgot his name right now.
Jim Howe.
It was a while, but Jim Howe. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't there from the beginning, but he did pretty much confirm what we thought, and I think Tom Henderson covered it very well as well. Just saying, the game went a certain direction from its conception, which was made at the higher levels of DICE and influenced by EA. Same with like movies where you have producers or the studios come in and make changes, and it doesn't always work out well for the final product. I think that's what happens. So it's all going to come down to what that initial concept meeting kind of goes down and where they send the development team. But I think you're right. They need to 100, and Westy did a good job of clarifying what he meant after, and he was kind of in line with what you just said, Crash. They need to have, first and foremost, they need to have a Battlefield game again, right? None of this.
Yep.
There's no excuse. This is where the series is going to make or break. It's gonna either flourish after this, or it's gonna be dead forever and pull a Medal of Honor. So they need to nail this game. It needs to be classic Battlefield. It needs to be lots of maps, lots of weapons, lots of support for the live service, or however they do that, and it needs to be that way. Good launch, etc. And I think the way they need to do this is they need to have that out for almost a year, I would say. At least 8 months before the BR launches, right? So
that would be cool.
Let's have all these development teams work on the multiplayer. Everyone is involved on the MP. No Portal, none of this stuff. Everyone's working classic old school Battlefield style to reboot the series, essentially. Let's call it Battlefield. And then after that, we break out some studios to take all the assets that you already created and we shift it to a BR/extraction type game mode. And that comes 8 months down the road after the game's established, selling well. We have our live service up and running well. And then there's no excuse because
Now,
really
do you keep that
work would
still a
start
free
after.
service, or do you keep that part of the game itself?
It needs to be free. It needs to be free to play 110% because at that point, assuming, let's say it's the Battlefield we all wanted, right? We're all happy. It's called Battlefield, bringing it back to where the series was, what we all loved, and they just nailed it, right? That's best case scenario. So if that's the case, why wouldn't it be free to play? And then you have elements from the multiplayer that you can unlock different things for the free to play BR extraction mode, different missions and stuff in the extraction mode, BR mode, whatever, and they connect. And then you have the free weekends. You have different live service. The live service at that point would then have MP unlocks and like the free to play unlocks for the battle royale extraction mode. They tie it in that way. I think that's how they need to do it. But to rush that different free to play mode out would be a mistake. The game needs to be established for quite some time, and they need to prove that they actually understand the concept of live service. And then they need to prove, okay, we made a free to play mode and it's good. And they need to prove that they can support it with the continuation of live service and into a year 2. And I think that we just talked about year 2 for our topic. What if the year 2 is this other mode, right? At least year 1.7 on or something, or 0.7 on. That's how I think they should do it. So I hope that's what happens.
I think that would be best case scenario. Like, come out with the Battlefield that stands alone. It stands on its own 2 legs and prove it. Like, and then that should technically quiet that sentiment of, why are we working on a BR? We can't even make a Battlefield game. If you had a Battlefield game that was killing it, that had a lot of maps, it had no specials, it had all the stuff we talked about in that one episode, and it was rocking it for for several months, and then you slap this free-to-play BR on top of it, it would be huge. It would be huge. Yeah.
I do think, though, get your guys' take, but I don't think they should go exclusively BR, and I don't think they should go exclusively extraction. I think they almost need to make their own, like, a mix of the two and come up with something. It needs to be like a BR with extraction elements, I think, because BR or Battlefield, like, you're right, it is the perfect BR, but I think to retain the player base and to pull in additional audiences to this free-to-play mode, there needs to be an extraction element there. I think extraction shooters are more almost addictive than BRs, in my opinion. But if you have elements of both, it's going to pull in both crowds, right? If they can do it right. What do you guys think?
No, I'm completely behind that, and just to kind of, I've been talking a lot about War 3 lately. Their game,
you can't escape it.
I can't escape it, but their game mode in September called HVT is kind of like that, where it is battle royale, but instead of a circle, I'm thinking, again, this is just my thoughts, it's going to be parts of the maps like closing off, like sections at a time, instead of just one circle with objectives that you have to complete. And you bring in your own loadout as well too.
Yeah, I do.
And then so add a loot pickup with extraction in there, and add it where if you die, you lose it all. I think that would be, and then again within the Battlefield engine, that's a recipe for success. Yeah.
And that's how you pull in some of the Warzone crowd too, right? Have your own loadout, and they can even do different modes where it's like, hey, this is, Call of Duty they do the different types of BRs. They have your regular BR, and they have the different special events. You could have a special event where it's like it was in Firestorm. You need to pick up everything off the ground and the attachments, and then there's the main mode, which is bringing your stuff, and that would go back to, Blue knows, right? What if they brought back for this next Battlefield the Warfighter gun customization, but like ramped it up, right? That'd be, imagine building your kit with that and bringing it into the BR extraction, and
they know how to do it. Obviously, DICE is there. So
back in 2012, they did it.
What was that game we were talking about? Where, dude, You guys gotta help me. I'm down
The
bad.
cigar is going to him.
What was that game where we talked about where you could decide to extract or you could keep playing for the win? Like, was that last week? We were talking about that.
I
What the
think
hell?
we were.
Yeah. What was that?
It's
I
like,
don't remember.
it's like yeah, was that not an idea?
Yeah, it's something we were
What-
talking about. It came up during I think our DMZ or some Call of
I
Duty
don't know if that was an
discussion, but
actual game or if
I
that
thought it
just
was
an
an alleged.
idea.
I thought it was like a leak or some kind of game that was coming out. It wasn't Dark and Darker. I can't remember what it was.
You're right.
dude.
You're right. It was
Yeah.
some other game that like announced something. I think maybe we were theory crafting, but that would be ideal,
That would be
right?
sick,
You
man.
can stay and win the BR or
It
extract.
might have been
with
dark. Yeah,
different
no,
things.
actually, it might have been Dark and Darker. Yeah, actually.
Oh,
Isn't
I
it?
don't
You
know.
talking about the medieval where instead of just like staying?
No.
So no, it wasn't.
It was
medieval, no.
different. It was different. No, what we're saying, guys. I swear there was a game. We'd have to go back and look at it. But the
Well, in
object was
DMZ,
still.
can you like?
You
sorry.
can't win.
Yeah,
You can't, like,
win it.
win
Yeah, you got
DMZ,
you
like-
have to extract. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so like because several teams can extract and technically win. This would be like one team is going to win the BR. Like it's going to go down to a final circle and the last team left is going to win. But like early in the round, if you're not feeling it or if you find some good loot but you're in a bad position, you could extract and then queue up again for the next one and start with the gear that you
Or have
extracted
like
with.
Yeah.
offshoot missions. Just like
you don't
DMZ.
get as much as the person or the team
Mhm.
that did win it all, but you get at least the loot that you picked up and
But
try to
you
go
get-
for the next.
Yeah, but you can take
Yeah.
you can take a game or two and loot, see what position you get, and try
Yeah,
to position
exactly.
yourself and re-infill and try to win.
Mhm.
So that was something, dude. That's gonna
Something
bug
like that
me.
would be ideal. I think that it's exactly what they would need to implement.
Yeah, I was also a fan of Dark Zone, but I don't see that fitting into the Battlefield franchise too well. I mean, if you're thinking about like teams teaming up, then eventually turning on each other, maybe that's a little bit more. I feel like extraction open world compared, something along the sides. I guess Tarkov does it, but
Yeah.
no,
But I don't
think.
But I don't. You
The
don't
only
really
thing I
get.
can think of that is like maybe sending loot off, but even then, it's not really.
I don't know. You don't really get anything extra for that last chopper in DMZ, do you? Like maybe some extra XP for staying in
not
longer.
unless
but-
you have like a specific mission selected where you need to take that chopper with
Yeah.
X amount of
Or
cash.
you
is one
wipe
of the
every
ones. Yeah.
team,
But you still don't get, you don't get anything extra from it, right? There's no incentive to do it unless you
Right.
have a mission or you're like player hunting. There's no reason to do so. So if there was more incentive to win the mode, right, and you be the last team standing with the option of extracting via missions or different things along the way, that'd be good. And then if you do win, you get, it needs to be worth your while too.
Maybe that's what Blood Pop's making.
Maybe it
Blood,
is, dude.
Maybe Blood Pop will do it. Come on, Blood Pop. You got it, man.
We believe.
Yeah, I love it here. So yeah, I think that pretty well sums it up. But there were a ton of people talking about it, and then I know that he went on to like reiterate that why he was saying that. I want to pull to put a close on this.
He did that follow up.
I want to put a quote. I want to put a follow up on that because I made a video at the time when this happened, but I kind of halfway forgot about it.
I think he
Here we go.
retweeted the original tweet. Yeah, a couple days.
I
later.
can't find it because I have a tracker blocker.
Oh no.
Mm-mm-mm.
I want me to try and pull it up and read it on my end.
I can hold on.
Never
You're a
get that production team
gamer.
on point.
Dude, they're so bad. I'll find it. Don't you?
No,
worry.
I'm
Yeah, here you go.
yeah.
This was article.
We're all in the same ballpark though, for
Yeah.
sure.
But just to put a bow on this, to keep everybody on the same page, what Vince Zampella has said, who is the overall head dude on Battlefields, he said he doesn't think they spend enough time iterating on what's fun, and they kind of veered off from Battlefield, which is good to hear. But he did say, gotta find it. Is this not the article? Mother of God. What he said was they want several different games that are connected in a Battlefield universe. So that's also where I originally got the idea that they were making here's another one. That they were making a single player standalone game.
That'd be cool. And they almost tried that with like 3 and 4 because they connected those campaigns. They just did a really poor job of doing so. And I thought Battlefield 3's campaign like would have set up a really good universe, but story wise with 4, they didn't follow up. They didn't follow up well with 4. Unfortunately, they just kind of. I was expecting so much with the 4 campaign following up on them. They brought back some of the characters, but it was definitely a big letdown. But I think 3 would have been like an ideal starting point for.
It was right there. I mean, they did the same thing with Battlefield Bad Company too. They ended it on a cliffhanger, and
right.
And
that was like prime. Battlefield 3 was competing with Modern Warfare 3 at the time, so like you were expecting this to kind of go back and forth.
Especially if the next one was called Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
Vince Zampella wants to make a Battlefield universe. So with different connected experiences. The other Battlefield games, yeah,
like that can be good and bad. I mean, with their current track record, most likely on the lines of bad. But
this is the worst news show ever. I don't need
everything does that nowadays. Marvel, DC, everything in entertainment has to somehow it needs to connect in a way, shape, or form like that. Like I get continuing storylines, but it doesn't need to be this entire cinematic universe for a Battlefield. That's not what Battlefield's all about. Battlefield is fighting two factions against each other on a war zone. Very simple. Doesn't need to be super in depth. I mean, yes, the campaigns back then were amazing. I mean, but even then, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat, that it was just a good game overall. Yes, it's times have changed, but God, I hate that. I hate that someone actually that's an idea, especially that it's one of the higher ups saying that.
Yeah, that gives me a little like pause for concern, especially given I thought Marcus Leto was initially the rumor was he was like working on almost like that single player with the specialist stuff. It's just like if that's the direction they're going and they're like going to build a universe off of specialist stories and stuff, that just digging their own grave. You
guys need a hopium cigar.
That's something they need to pivot out of immediately.
Yeah,
is get away.
Go grab one. I'm gonna cigar shop right after this.
I'm gonna send you some hopium cigars. Get on my level.
I will get a celebration cigar later.
There you
this
go.
Friday.
For your graduation. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, simple. Just give us factions. Just give us a realistic, maybe futuristic-ish time frame.
Man, like watching that Apocalypse trailer at the beginning, dude.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah.
True.
Dinosaurus Rex in chat said that he made a good point. They kind of already are doing a connected universe because like 3.4 2042 do connect and 2142 they do connect. You have
when Battlefield 4 did their new like feature maps and you saw like the Titan that was being under construction,
right,
and then they did that and then they dropped the ball.
I think they want live games, like current supported games that connect. I think they want a mobile. I think they want a BR. I think they want a story game, like RPG type thing, and I think they want a multiplayer. And
they canceled the mobile game already. So
I think
that feels like that's kind of like the Overwatch way of making games, though.
Based on what he said in the. Oh, God bless America, dude. My brain. You got to get it together, dude. This is what having a child will do to you guys, okay? This is what happens. You don't sleep, and this is what this
I'm a bit tired today. He woke up, my son woke up sick this morning.
Who's the president of EA? Who I listen to talk on all that shit all the time. I can see his face.
No idea.
Dude, I say his name all the time.
Andrew Wilson.
Anyway. Yeah, Andrew Wilson was saying they canceled it, and then someone asked him in the questions why they canceled the Battlefield Mobile. It's because it wasn't going to be connected in the ecosystem, and that's why they also they said when they do mobile games they need to be cross play and cross progression. He didn't say it, but I know what he meant. He meant
the first thing I googled was, sorry, real quick, the first thing I googled EA president, and it literally goes 3 core strategic pillars. The first one, putting players first.
That's going well.
Nope. So what he didn't have to say it. Okay. What he meant was he wants you to be able to progress the battle pass while you're taking a shit on your phone.
Like Call of Duty. Like he said, basically they want to do what COD did.
Yeah. Play games on the shitter, and then you're connected and you're progressing on your other game, and it's all together. That's what they want to do. The Battlefield Mobile looked really cool, to be honest. Like it just had all this stuff, a lot of the stuff that we wanted.
Better than 2042.
And that's what they said. So I think they're going to revisit Battlefield Mobile eventually, and it's going to be connected in this universe if it starts to do well and be able to be.
They try to do something along those lines about Battlefield 4 with the commander mode. Remember, you were able to like act, your tablet and stuff like that. I never once met somebody that ever tried to go ahead and do that. So I just don't feel like the connected universe. I know it's not connected gameplay, but I just feel like that connected universe isn't an incentive for players to pick up their phone and start playing Battlefield. If anything, most people, what they're going to do is download Game Stacks or whatever the hell, Gamefly, whatever the fuck it is nowadays, and just play mobile games on their computer.
Yeah, that was an attempt. That was exclusively only for commander mode to do it like on the go. So that was kind of like the original attempt at this, which for what it was at the time, it served its purpose. And they also had BattleNet, I think it was, where all the stats were. So like I would be playing and I'd have BattleNet up on my screen to like look at the stats. You could look at the previous game stats. It was very in-depth stuff there, which
so my life was consumed.
Yeah, right. But I think cross progression, it makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense to have cross progression. That's what they want to do, to like break into kind of at the level that Call of Duty is, especially since that's always for the most part been their main competition. I think it's sure, but they just need they need to do it right, and the focus primarily needs to be on the main core Battlefield game, which they can't be as dumb as we think, and they must realize that. So we'll have to wait and see.
I might be as dumb as they think. I feel like it today, man. Holy. Thank you guys for carrying me through this episode. Holy shit.
Hey, man.
We're here for you, Crash.
Yeah, you guys keep fast on that Google machine, so when my thought train derails, you guys can pop it back onto the tracks. It'll be all right. Also,
just real quick, the other 2 core strategic pillars is driving a digital transformation and operating as one team. Thanks, Andrew.
Aww.
Appreciate it.
When are they implementing that? shout out Dinosaurus Rex with the
one of the next upcoming DLCs.
Shout out.
Yeah, is that
it? Dinosaurus Rex popping off. Yeah, dude. There you go. That's Battlefield talk. You guys want to talk about Project Astrid? Do you know anything about it? Me neither. Let's talk about it.
I've actually been very interested in it. I mean, the fact that it's a survival FPS that they're working on, I'm a big fan of survival games, and if it's anything, dude, I'm excited, but I'm also like, get out of the mindset of being excited for new games by new companies. Just stop it, because I'm gonna get let down. Well, then again,
Splash Damage isn't new. At least they got some some stuff behind them, right? Huh?
Do they?
What do you mean? They've made games before.
I don't know.
Gears of War.
They got
Dirty Bomb.
Was that Splash Damage?
Yeah. And then
didn't realize that was Splash Damage.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or
I'm not. Google it.
Wait.
Okay. I have no idea.
Google it.
I'm a PlayStation dude. I never played those.
Brink, Arkham Origins, Dirty Bombs. Let me see what else. Okay. Well, isn't that more Ubisoft?
Halo and Gears also, I'm hearing.
Yeah, they worked on the Halo Master Chief Collection and Gears.
So hang on, this is the studio behind Astrid, but
Yeah.
but Shroud and them are all kind of like joining in for
Are
the.
they?
How does that
Is
work?
it a game? So he's teaming up with Splash Damage. That's
Right.
what's
Splash
happening.
Damage is making the
Got it.
game.
Okay.
They're being
That
involved
makes
with
more
it.
sense then.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they got the team behind him. They got the knowledge behind him. They got the developers behind him. So like as I understand, and I'll I'll wait till Blue puts his headset back on so we can hear.
Hello.
As I understand is that this has been worked on for a while. And so I went ahead and watched Shroud's stream. I had it on in the background while I was working, and he talked about this has been going on. They've been in contact and working with them for almost 2 years already about this game. And also he said that because I originally, like many of you, kind of thought, oh well, they're just kind of a figurehead. They're marketing, right? Like they're just putting their names on it for marketing. But they said that they've been involved. He said he's been involved in everything from the start. Him and Sacral have been involved in like all the calls, and they've flown over there and had a lot of different meetings, and that they're super involved in the mechanics and the balance and everything to do with the game, the visual style, all that stuff. He said, and it's been worked on for 2 years. So they kind of approached him.
Did they kind of come up with like the setting and everything too, or was that already established?
I'm pretty sure they were involved with it. I don't know if they decided it, but they said they were involved from the ground up. And he did say that he wishes he could show you all the stuff you could do in the game now. So they have there's something together. Like they're able to play it and do stuff. They're not to the like alpha or beta stage, he said, but like they have playable stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, and JD says he heard something different. He said the quote was, "It's not mine and Sacro's game. We aren't making decisions. We are just giving input when asked." He made it sound like in his stream, because he did a stream where he was playing DayZ and talking about it. And he made it sound like they were really involved in it. So I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. But I do feel like that's kind of, if things go bad, it's like, oh well, we were just kind of advising, right? It's almost
the
like
safety
the
valve.
cop out. Yeah, exactly. That's the backdoor exit in case it goes wrong.
It could be, but yeah, it sounded like him and Sacred were talking about it a long time, and they kind of reached out some different devs, and Splash Damage said, "Hey, we're kind of doing something like that. Do you want to get together?" And then they did. The other thing interesting of note with Splash Damage, they are owners. They bought the studio Bulkhead, and Bulkhead is working on a King of the Hill tagline type game called War Dogs. And that's the one that Lossy signed on as a community manager. So the former Battlefield creator Lossy is working for Bulkhead, working on the War Dogs game. So I'm excited to see that too. And that falls under the Splash Damage umbrella as well. But I don't know. I kind of like the trend of more creators, making games or being involved in the making of games. I'm interested to see how it plays out.
I don't know who Sacral is, but obviously Shroud is somebody I've followed for quite a long time. It was especially like his DayZ success and everything, him and Doc. So, and I watched him a lot in Blackout in the back of the day. He was playing Blackout like crazy when that came out. That was like the hot thing. I think he was doing that after DayZ as soon as that came out. So that was great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of DayZ, big fan of Tarkov when Tarkov wasn't riddled with cheaters and all the other fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just glad finally someone's actually, plenty of other companies are always trying to go at games like that. I just want another good survival FPS game.
Yeah,
now the crazy, I think I've seen some articles saying too that possibly the projected release date, again, this is all up in the air, but like 2025, 2026. I don't know how realistic that sounds for you guys, especially with Splash Damage's record. And then on top of that, since they've done a lot of console stuff too, it's going to be, each, it's going to be PC, consoles, crossplay, there's so much more.
Yeah, we don't know a lot. He did add in his live stream that it is Unreal 5. He said he could say that.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's what we've seen with Unreal 5 is honestly what that engine is capable of is mind blowing. So yeah, that's awesome. I think everything right now should be. I think Unreal 5 is the best engine I've seen, hands down. Period. End of story.
So it could be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. Again, I kind of, you have Doc making his game, which we definitely need to talk about. It probably should have been a full topic. I'm sorry about that. Doc's game, and then you have Big Fry making transients. So just these content creators stepping up to make games is pretty cool, and I look forward to seeing what they're like. And in regards to 2042, I'm pretty sure the content creators had like zero say in it. I think I remember hearing like Level Cap and Lossy and stuff say like in some of their streams that they played it like a couple days before the beta to get content for the beta, and they were never really called in for any kind of feedback or anything with 2042. So it could have used some of that probably.
Well, I think didn't I don't want to go back to the Battlefield topic. I thought other people were involved at some points saying like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. They did it anyways, but maybe that was just different creators. But yeah, I mean, I put it in the chat too. I mean, like I said, I don't know who the other partner is here, this other player, but Shroud. I mean, he's played so many games at such a high level and just like easily mastered them. Especially I watched him on his Tarkov journey where he like was learning and then just became like this, he gets to the point in these games where he doesn't even need to try it. He's just amazing. So
he used to make me so mad watching him play Siege. Because he would play Siege and he didn't know the call outs. He didn't know what the operators did. He didn't know this entire utility meta of the game, but he could just click on heads faster than literally anybody else, and he would get to like diamond. Like just because he could destroy people with shooting him in the head. Like
and you're there doing homework. And
I'm like watching these YouTube videos trying to write down strats. I'm like, oh, this is a good flank route and all this stuff. And Shroud's just like, I don't know any of this, and just destroys everybody. So like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think his input's gonna be key for anything.
Dude, I loved watching Shroud in PUBG, man, with Doc back in the PUBG glory days. I watch him forever. Good. So awesome, so funny,
so good. Yep,
it's cool to watch him. And Sacreal is like, I'm not as familiar with him either, but I think he's just like an OG content creator on Twitch. Been around for a really long time and played a lot of survival games and like done really well with that kind of content with survival, DayZ, H1, Rust, like all that stuff. I'm pretty sure. So I know he's been around a long time. I would consider him probably a variety streamer, but he's been doing it for a long time.
I would love to see. I mean, especially the fact that they're saying UE5. And even if they're not, I mean, I doubt they're making decisions. Like that would be like they retain to the studio almost. But I'm sure they're advising heavily on things. And even with that, as long as the studio is listening with what it sounds like he was saying in his stream and what we're seeing on the screens and stuff, unless it's just really good PR. Just having that input is extremely valuable. So I think I kind of want to see it. I'm hoping it's a modern day like semi grounded shooter. Kind of if it's something like DayZ or PUBG in that like sphere, I'd be all over it.
Cool. Yeah, it's just another one that we're keeping our eye on. I really hope this isn't the case where they start like talking about it and then it's like 4 years away or something. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's just me being like
the old.
I mean, it's been in development. You said for 2 years. They just announced it in March. I mean, maybe another 2 years, and we'll see where the progress is. I
think there needs to be a rule that if you announce a game and that you're working on it, you need to be within a year of a beta. Like that's me being selfish and impatient.
Killzone 2 syndrome.
Killzone 2. Oh my god!
You dropped the most legendary trailer in all of E3 history, and then it didn't come out for like another 5 years. So
not a fan.
That's when it started.
And again,
that would have been Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Exactly. Again, that's just me being selfish and impatient. That's how I am. So deal with it.
I do think they do need to definitely. You're right, but I would also rather not see anything till it's, I don't want the game to come out till it's like perfect. And Shroud's like, this game needs no more adjustments, right? Besides moving forward from here. But I agree that maybe they should announce it if it's like 5 years away. Yeah, right.
Yep.
We'll
All
see.
right. Are we ready for some quick shots?
Quick
I'm
shots.
always ready.
Quick shots. Quick shots.
Yeah. I don't even know what they're gonna consist of at this point, but whatever.
I did put one more in there, and well, I sent it to the production team real quick.
Yeah. I'll tell them to get on it.
Yeah, tell them. Well, chop.
I think we
They're
could.
all over it.
I think. Do you want to talk about the VR stuff, Buff, a little bit?
Yeah, that one that I sent you.
Geronimo.
If anyone was watching my Twitter, it just like kind of came out of nowhere. It's from Dark Matter Studios called Geronimo VR, I get. And this is I don't know. I saw this because someone like retweeted it. And
well, I know a little bit more behind that. I know Control Pairs was talking about a while ago. I remember when I was sitting in a Discord call with him and we were talking about this, and I saw that he posted or retweeted some image, and it was like, you know, them putting nods on and stuff like that. But it basically, I mean, his like dream game is SWAT 4 in VR, and this feels more like Ready or Not or Ground Branch in VR.
I'm all for it, man. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm completely for it too.
How much money do I need? Yeah, how much money do I need to spend on a VR setup to be playing this tomorrow? Is the question.
Yeah, seriously. The only thing I'm curious about is AI. I mean, especially if you want it to be super immersive. I don't want just bot AI, and you see that in this video, where they, you know, shoot through the door and then they open the door and the bots look at the other, you know, way completely. So it definitely still has work to do. I did mention, I was like, is there going to be a replay feature? I think that'd be really cool for like cinematics and stuff like that. Yeah, and all they did was like the tweet. They didn't even like respond to it. They just like, I was gonna like it, let you wonder yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
So I was like, so I mean, most likely that hey, you know, silence could also be, you know, a yes. So I'm gonna take that as a yes. Especially if you're implementing different helmet cam features. I think that's just so cool.
100%.
And the cool thing about that, I think Pairs is working with them, to like help with, you know, plate carrier, you know, setups and customization. I think you're going to be able to like customize your own plate carrier. You're going to, you know, of course, customize your weapons. Yeah.
This would be like my channel. The only thing I cover going forward.
Well, I mean, this is what
the helmet cam is great.
What was that? It's not Pavlov. There's another VR shooter.
Yeah, another one you were talking about the other day, right?
Well, no, not Ghost of Tabor. There's another one that's like this that is a more milsim-ish, like, but it has multiplayer PvP in it as well too. I can't think of the name right now. Maybe someone in one of these chats might know, but it also had like, oh god, because it was like it was bare bones though, but they also had night vision, and when you're playing with other people that are on the same wavelength, it gets really in depth. And then, you know, but again, I feel like AI is always the biggest hurdle for these games to come over.
I'm just imagining like the comms if you're playing with buddies here. It is
well
crazy.
Imagine haptic feedback vest.
It's like
on
we
your
talked
shoulders,
about,
and then you could shoulder tap somebody.
Right. Oh, dude, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like we were like alluding to this last week with like the Ready Player One references. Like when you read that book, like that's almost the future of gaming down like 5
this is just so much untapped potential with
and
VR
look at
gaming.
The high ready, he's running high ready at some points here, that he's not sweeping his teammate with the muzzle.
You don't have to like move your mouse to
and the helmet cam footage. I think you're right, Blue, with the helmet cam is
it feels more like a replay feature.
Yeah, I feel like you're definitely like, okay,
Onward. That's the game.
Oh, Onward. Okay.
Onward is can get very realistic in certain situations, but then also when you're doing PvP, people are just running around sprinting and hip firing. So it's kind of like, you know,
I like this. This just looks.
I will say
ideal.
From also I've seen both versions, I guess, of like the walking animation, especially with like the hips, and it looks pretty good right now. I know before it was just like a very stationary object walking on just like two little stilts. So it's cool to see that they've actually feels more fluid. I don't know. I don't know if someone's actually using. Oh Lord! I was like, why is Crash staring? Then I look at the screen, it pops up.
Thanks, Blood Pop.
Blood Pop, baby.
Blood Pop.
Blood Pop's going
Pop
VR.
on up, Blood Pop.
Blood Pop's going VR. No problem.
Do we even know
Gen
what
Z.
stage of development this is in? I mean, is this still? Because I never heard of it till last week.
Stupid
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Everything's
figured.
early.
It's gotta be early, yeah. Because I
it is nowhere near
randomly found the tweet
beta.
last week. And was like,
Maybe
holy
early
crap.
technical test alpha, but yeah, we got some time.
Good. Okay. Good.
What
good.
about
So,
Ghost of Tabor though?
That one's already in open beta. That one's already out, like getting updated, and people are playing it pretty much. So I know they had their like creator launch party in Full Sail. Surprisingly, I wish I was there for that, but didn't get the invite. It's all right. Also, then again, my VR headset has died. Not died, but my controller.
Are we talking?
Died, so I'm waiting.
Is
Oh, no.
anyone else
Yeah.
excited or looking into the Quest 3? This allegedly supposed to be this year.
Yes and
Is that
no.
where we're at?
I mean, it's funny enough, actually, our school was giving them away for like a raffle ticket. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Our school got money. But I'm also like, I'm actually myself just even still looking into the Valve Index. I still feel like that's like the best PC VR headset setup currently. While yes, like the Quest 2, you can use like the PC Link VR cable and plug that into your PC, and you pretty much have both a mobile setup, because then you could just go play mobile like Onward or mobile Pavlov. But yeah,
I kind of want to.
I would wait to see not the first Quest 3, but the whatever comes after that, because I feel like the Quest 3, it was like so they were trying new things with it. Let those testers get all the bugs fixed first, and then go from there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I kind of want to get into VR. So we've been talking about it lately. It looks cool. Looks really cool.
Looks awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I think as an excellent professional style segue into the next
Quick shot.
quick shot, baby. I think AI is a big issue with a lot of games. I think it's an incredible challenge for a lot of games.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
I
project,
think like Sandstorm does a good job, I feel. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So Blue's gonna have to talk about this mostly because he sent it to me. But there's a Project Quarantine AI showcase. Let me know what I'm looking at here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, wait.
AI,
we're talking
we're here.
AI, and then I thought you meant
See how
AI
I-
like artwork.
See how I tied it in?
Okay.
Oh, and we're gonna go AI
Got it,
artwork
okay.
after.
Got it. Okay. Foreshadowing. Got it. I mean, so if people who don't know what Project Quarantine is, it's another UE 5 Unreal Engine 5 project coming out. Again, in early alpha still. Everything's in early access, guys. Sorry.
Again, it's got potential, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. You need that as a sound clip at that point, because that's literally
100%.
all we could say. The cool thing about this is that I've actually seen the AI in like action. So basically it's your standard extraction shooter. You go to a laptop, you grab a mission, you go get some mission file, and then you leave on a car. So pretty basic setup there. They kind of have it feels like a bunch of just Unreal Engine asset marketplace assets mashed together. So it's not the greatest looking thing, but it's cool to see an extraction shooter in the Unreal Engine 5 like engine. So that, plus they're also now working on AI overhauling and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of like having the AI feel more alive. So like
that's
so
a
the AI
huge
in
issue
this
with
video,
Tarkov.
like they're yeah, exactly. The hold on, give me, wife is not gonna
Sort that out.
Yeah,
But anyway,
if the AI is AI is always the issue, right? Like we just saw with Geronimo, like Blue was saying, if they're facing like the wall or something away from you when you're breaching a door, it kind of takes away You know, you don't want
Exactly.
that. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool that they actually like will as they get two things, like as they get closer to the player, they walk a little bit slower to kind of get like maybe even sneak up on you, and also
Mhm.
they take cover from time to time, moving from cover to cover, so it's not just a single pathway, walking in the middle of the street getting ready to get, you know, sniped. It feels a little bit
Right.
more responsive. And then they're just giving us the tools to mess with all these settings in the menu. So like you want to increase AI difficulty settings, go for it. You want to make their nose cone of, you know, awareness bigger, go for it. Just you know, different types of equipment, whatever you want to do. So it feels, again, it feels more like a tech demo at the moment, but it's a good foundation and it has potential, and we'll keep an eye on it.
It has potential, and we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah.
I'll be honest though, like, and also has a really cool weapon customization aspect to it, like taking everything from like the barrel out of the handguard, and then the, you know, flash hider, putting on a suppressor,
That's
making, you know, the certain 16-inch barrel only can have this type of handguard on it. You could change out the buffer tube, and put, you know, make it a red one, make it look cool or something if you want. Pistol grip. You could pretty much take out during a raid, you could take apart a weapon pretty much down to like just the gas tube and like the lower receiver. So
So
they're
similar to
definitely, they
Tarkov.
definitely have, it's definitely similar to Tarkov, but it's just like the Tarkov and the way it's going downhill, in my opinion. There's going to be all kinds of projects and games rising to take its place. I'm not saying this is the game, but this is definitely the start, and it also has procedural prop placement now too. So every time you load into the same map, different things are going to be in different areas. So it's not going to be the same, as well as different AI. So
That's pretty cool.
it's not going to be, yeah, it's not going to be like Tarkov where you go into dorms, you know exactly, oh, this couch for make a left, it's going to be right here, and the scavs are going to spawn right there. Where in this game, it's like, oh, if I turn to left, oh, now there's no couch, but now there's a closet over there, and there's AI not longer here. They're behind me, but you never know.
Right.
That's the thing. It's procedural every time.
I really hope that I like the thought of procedural stuff, and then I hope they do a good job with AI, and maybe Tarkov can learn something from it. Because, like I said, I think that's an incredibly immersion breaking mechanic in Tarkov right now, and I think it's been band-aided for a long time, and I think they're eventually going to have to do a pretty significant AI rework in Tarkov before they
Yeah.
release that game,
Yeah.
before they get to 1.0, among a laundry list of other things. But
Yeah.
but yeah, AI is one of them.
And it feels good to shoot. It feels good to shoot.
I haven't
That's
tried it
sick.
yet. I want to try it eventually. I'm
It's
gonna keep
free.
my eye on it
Free to
because it
play.
has potential.
It does. Indeed.
So in the next quick shot, talking about
Quick shot.
AI. Our good friend Blue the Robot on my left, your right, wanted to talk about Midjourney version 5 a little bit. The new
Amazing.
AI version.
It's
It's
freaking
wild.
amazing, dude.
I mean, peep the thumbnail. That was version 5.
Yeah, seriously. I just didn't think. I mean, it's getting a little bit harder and harder now to tell the difference between
I can
a photo.
pull some up, man. I made some.
Yeah,
weird,
like
I made some
do it,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
those ones you
like
did for Battlefield in that one video were like, I was like, Jesus,
Dude,
like,
they're
the AI had
crazier
a better
now.
idea of Battlefield than Dice did.
They're crazier now, man.
Well, so what really caused this for me to like even bring it up was that I was having this conversation with someone at school, and it was she was saying that she hates people who use AI artwork because as an artist herself,
Yeah,
she feels like it's gonna be, you know, it's taking over her job. What's the point of even making art in the first place? And I'm like, it's a tool. It's not gonna take over your job. I promise you that it's not gonna take over your job, because no AI art could do what you do specifically, in my opinion. Especially if you have like, if you put your stuff into AI art, maybe you can recreate it, but there's still little nuances, and then I can only get as specific as I can with the prompts than with working with an actual artist, you know, in partnership and getting that detail. So
Right.
And even like with
Check
not
this
even
one,
just
Bo.
AI artwork. Let me see this. You putting on the
Yeah, I got it. It's going.
video.
No, this is just
But
one that I made.
but take like
That's fire.
chat GPT for instance. Dude, oh yeah, see, and when I saw that, I was like, that helicopter looks so good. Because I remember like in version 4, the helicopters would look very futuristic, bubbly, with like 18 different propellers, and it would just look very off. That looks like a Huey
Yeah, it's
or
a
a
Black
Blackhawk
Yeah, it's a
or
Blackhawk.
something, like a mix between them for
But
sure.
you have to type it in.
Um,
I had to type it in. I typed in the model number and stuff of the helicopter to like tell it to.
Oh, that's awesome.
That helps a lot.
That makes sense. That helps a lot too. I mean, or even, I mean, is that an actual M16 that you placed in there Photoshop wise, or
No,
is
it did that.
something?
It's much better with guns now. It's much better.
Yeah, because that was the biggest issue.
Wow.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my god, like.
Then I've been
the
working on some
guns
other like
now.
Battlefield concepts. That gun's pretty chalked. This one's pretty cool. Like it looks pretty neat.
Yo, that's fire. Send it to Dice, man. That's what I need. Come on.
And then these were ones that I'm working on. I was gonna do a Hopi and Battlefield video, so this is like soldiers looking at the sunrise, you know, like
beautiful.
I put in some other prompts and stuff, but here's some like Battlefield promo art stuff. Like it's
man.
nutty,
I mean,
man.
all of it is
Holy
just
crap.
sick, dude. But again, then it's like,
Jesus.
okay. I mean, I am using this, in my opinion, like in my personal like experience of using AI artwork, I'm using it until I get to the point where I can pay for an artist to make me
100%. So it's such a man. It's a weird thing.
It helps smaller channels get on a higher level, and for thumbnails at least. And as for artists, like if you're an actual artist making commission work, if anything, it helps you create more ideas. It's a starting platform for you. It doesn't take over your job. Same thing with like the AI chat, the GPT, the open AI and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna have it write an entire email or essay or resume for me, but I could take what it knows and use that as a foundation and then work my own stuff into it.
Did you guys see the article that ChatGPT did write that latest episode of South Park the other week too, though? So I mean, what they do? I mean, they didn't write it; they let the AI write the episode. So ChatGPT wrote the South Park episode. That was all.
Yeah. And it makes for fun content, in my opinion. Like when you see like the presidents of the United States arguing in a Minecraft server, like. You know, or they're arguing playing Call of Duty, and it's like it's hilarious in my opinion, you know. And
I definitely get where artists are coming from, because it is a little bit scary for them. I would see that,
especially commission work, right? If you can just
but it's not to get into like it's not. I mean, literally, they were trying to get into a heated argument with me, and I'm just like, I'm not here to do that with you. I'm here to. I'm laying out options for you on the table. Do with them with what you will. So, and we'll leave it at that.
So yeah, where I'm at, like, I'm just gonna be 100% real with everybody. I am hyped as shit if I get a video to 1K views. Like, I think that's great. I'm proud of that. You know how much ad revenue that is? That's like $1.45. If I pay somebody, I don't even like if I pay somebody $40-$50 to make a thumbnail, I'm gonna go broke making videos. Like I can't afford, I can't afford to pay somebody. I would love to be able to afford an artist to be able to make my thumbnails, and that's a goal of mine. One day, I think that would be great. Like if I'm able to do content creation and make enough money, I would love to help somebody else out, give them work, just everybody benefits. But it's just 100%. It's not economically feasible, and this is a tool right now. And I think the way that artists should be using it too is for concepting. That's one of my biggest struggles, is coming up with ideas like composition, like what goes where. I think artists that embrace it and use it to get them started so they can focus on being artists. They don't have to brainstorm on like ideas and compositions and things like that. If they can get the AI to pump that out, and then the true
writing random words.
artist work is still going to look better. And I totally believe that 100%. And I think hopefully they could use this as a tool and not be I was upset with it too.
Yeah.
but-
Especially for gaming concept art too. Like
Right.
This
Which is
would be
essentially what
such
this is, right?
exactly. Yeah, I mean, you literally put that in as one of the prompts for some of your Battlefield stuff, or for anything really. So it's just like, again, yeah, it's a great place to start. I wouldn't go. I know there's people though that and then again, it goes both ways because there's people out there that go and make something and then use and then say, "Oh, I made this myself," kind of thing, when clearly you didn't.
Right.
Or like that one person, apparently there's a story, I don't know how, I saw an article about it, about a man that used AI, the chat GPT, wrote a kid story and then used Midjourney to create the artwork, made a book, and then actually sold it on Amazon.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that,
so
and they're starting to do that.
But is there anything against that? I mean, it's not.
Not really.
Not really.
And to be honest, I don't even know what happened with those lawsuits that with Getty Images and those like 4 artists. I don't know whatever was the outcome, or if they're still in the process of doing that. But
This is all.
dude, is that supposed to be like Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah. No,
This is all Midjourney 5.
I made it. I didn't make it. Dude. I prompted it in Midjourney. Yeah, I'll be clear. I didn't make it. I prompted it.
I'll be and I'll be honest. I'm in the same. As you, Chris. I've used commission artists before. Big Mike MW. I've used him for a lot of things here and there. But again, it's not. I'd be paying $30 to $60 based on the thumbnail. And you're not always going to have a video that's going to make that much. So it's not something that's sustainable. We're not like Nick Merckx over here, just like banging out 500.
Even if I was making 30 to 40
minutes.
bucks a video, I'm not going to use that just for a thumbnail.
Right. I would much rather this is something I'm going to learn how to do this. And this is good thumbnails here and there. My thumbnails are much more different than this kind of stuff because of my content. But this is the stuff that you've been showing, Crash. I would much rather use this for free than an artist right now. And that I feel like, to Blue's point, that's the concern of these artists.
And the most you're paying is like $10 a month. You know?
That's much better than $60 a thumbnail, or retaining.
Yeah, and if you're making more than 10 videos a month, then you're fine. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's.
Even if not, it's still that's you're still investing, but not losing out.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Crash, what was that? That last 4 panel you had up. What did you prompt for those?
I got some secret sauce. Okay.
I'm just saying,
wow.
I want
not even letting us know. Wow.
I want
holding
to.
That. It looks like a legit M4,
I want to make posters
kidding
of
me?
these, dude. I want to make posters of these. This shit I want hanging up on my wall behind me, and I'm not kidding. He sent it to me so I can print it out and get it framed.
So
that's amazing.
This is special.
Give us one. Give us one secret sauce.
All right. Okay. This is Special Operations Soldier on mission, wide angle in urban combat scene, and then a bunch of camera stuff. So
let's say if you know what you're talking about,
you so
can definitely manipulate it more.
Like F1.2 smart blur, professional color grade, high contrast, slight orange and teal, blockbuster color grade. Wow. And then shot on Arri Alexa camera with, what did I say? With schematically correct M4. So that I added that to try to get it to do the right M4, and it kind of looks pretty good. You still get goofy stuff. This guy's eyes are jank. There's some weird stuff. If you look at it.
The guy at the bottom right, just I'm getting a little excited. I'm getting a little too excited over here. So
that's a pretty cool one.
It looks like the rhino mount is in the right spot. It looks like the gloves are the fingerless. There definitely looks like a little bit more too many fingers on his left hand. But again, so things like that still differentiate enough from actual artists.
Yeah.
I paid somebody for my channel banner, and that was an actual artist, and that was a good amount of money. That was over $100 in all honesty. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine doing that for every single one of my thumbnails.
Imagine if you're doing daily videos too. That's
I like doing concepts of maps too. in there too. And then I kind of like abstract stuff
and even
too.
for like your show like this, it's good for like background images as you're talking about what potential maps you would like to see. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to use it. And I feel like there's more good than bad.
It depends on. I get why artists are upset though, especially ones whose art has been used to train the AI. Like that's getting into some weeds, and I think there's eventually going to be some lawsuits get to the Supreme Court to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, it has
and
to, because that's the only
I don't know
way
what the
things
answer
will
is
evolve and change.
for me right now. I think a small content creator would be really missing out to not use this stuff while it's an available tool. But I totally get the discourse from the artist community. Like I totally resonate with that.
Right.
But just it's a slippery slope. I don't know. But it's like it's one of those things you'd be silly not to use it while it's available right now. And especially like the way the laws and the copyright stuff is. I don't know the right answer. I don't know where this is like ends up ethically. And I think this is one of the first of many arguments and debates that we're going to go down as AI becomes more popular. I think this is just the beginning of, I mean, you're going to have like Chat GPT can write articles and stories of in certain authors already would. I mean, there's just a lot to it, but right now I'm having so much fun. It's
I made
great.
one where it was like make Dr. Seuss rap like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for me because I kind of know like all of the camera cinematography terms and stuff from my video work days. And so it being able to use that is so awesome because I'm terrible. I'm really good technically with art type stuff like that, but I'm horrible with like the true artistry of composing images and coming up with ideas. So like Midjourney and me are like the perfect marriage because I can tell it what I want and it can make it. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Like I can get it to do what I have vision in my head. I like some of this abstract artwork too. This is the kind of stuff that I will use for like thumbnails for the podcast and stuff. This is called kinetic art style. So this is in version 5. You do there's a bunch of cool different prompts. So one of my favorites is this one. So you do like what was I saying? Special operations soldier on mission in kinetic art style. And then there it is. Like it comes up with these more abstract things.
It
like
goes from there, yeah.
The low right one's really cool.
Yeah, you can't sue the AI art specifically. You can't sue, but you could sue the people who coded it, and that's what's. I mean, that's what's happening right now. Still, I feel like I don't know exactly what happened with those 2 lawsuits specifically. I was talking about with the Getty Images and those 4 artists suing Midjourney specifically.
I love this one.
And but still,
this is a Battlefield thumbnail soon. Right here. This one's
that's
really
pretty fun.
Oh man,
got some Shadow Company
it's
vibes.
Sick, dude.
That's nice.
So no, I don't know, man. T's and P's to the artist if it does put him out of work. It's like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the right answer is, man. I originally thought it would be cool, and then somebody roasted me on Twitter, and I guess I deserved it that I have no clue how anything works and I'm stupid, but I get it. I thought it would be cool if it was like Spotify. I understand that artists, when they get played on Spotify, that they get a little bit of a payment of like a royalty.
Yeah. What? So, someone said that was a bad idea.
Yeah, someone said you clearly don't know how Spotify works. So then I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it. I just wish that the artists.
Why don't you tell me then?
I just wish that the artists who are trained to use the model, if their artwork comes up in a prompt, that they would get a little bit of a royalty there. So, like maybe something like that. We got to work something out like that. Maybe it's something work out something like they do in the music industry or something, man. I don't know. I just want.
Right.
I hate the thought of people missing out on work.
Like Epidemic Sound, where people make specific content just for that platform that people go and subscribe to. So now you got people making artwork specifically for an AI machine to learn it, and then it would be only specifically on that platform where you got to pay $10 a month or stuff like that. So, and then they're getting paid to even get to put their art in there plus royalties. So that's just like a double win. And then and then you get to use all that artwork that comes out of that AI image generator for free. Well,
right?
not for free, but copyright free. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
that would be the, in my opinion, the best approach.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. And then any artists that watch this and are upset with me, I guess you can yell at me, but
Mail him a letter.
I have to use it, man. Like I don't have a choice. Like where I have to make a video, like if like something I want to make a video on comes out in the morning, I have to make my video over lunch. So I have like 45 minutes or so to make a video, and like I can't make a thumbnail that fast without the help of this.
Dude, thumbnails take so long. That is like the bane of my existence. Is the video part's easy, and then goofing around with thumbnails in what the hell do I even use? I use it's an open source.
It's GIMP.
GIMP, yeah, I use GIMP, and like I'm really good at it. You know, I learned it. It's a piece of cake, but still getting everything perfect. Blah blah blah. It's a pain in the butt,
or getting
man.
the specific screenshot in game to then bring it over.
It's
and
such a pain in the ass. And like,
and if it's Call of Duty, you're clearing out UI and
yeah, it's so dumb. It like the thumbnails are the longest part of
and
the
it separates you from everyone else that's taking the same reloading gun here screenshot.
Yeah. Exactly. That's like my whole thing was to differentiate my content, and so to do that, like you need to have a consistent theme. And unfortunately, like it just thumbnails take forever to do, depending on what you're doing. It's definitely a pain. So this would be easy.
I could show you some fails,
right?
I could show you some fails.
Got like some cone heads and stuff, or what?
No, I try to get really wild with it.
You know what I've done too?
Hold on. Some abstract
stuff. I specifically in the prompt, I put YouTube clickbait just to see what would come up. And some of it is actually like, I mean, let me see which one. I'm trying to think of the one that I posted that I put the prompt YouTube clickbait, and it did very well in the click-through rate percentage. I forgot which one it was. Oh,
these did not work out for me.
What is going on there?
Not good.
Yeah.
What was the prompt for that for the background?
Oh my god, he's
for
melting.
These? Yeah, it didn't work out, man.
Dude.
It would have worked better in V4 actually. So there's a really cool trick. If you want some of the abstract artwork stuff, I think this thumbnail, what you can do is you can create like just an abstract figure that looks really cool, like just by typing in abstract art or whatever, and then using that to image prompt and combining it with the soldier, and you can get some really cool stuff. That's where the thumbnail from this came from. You can get some just really unique abstract kind of surrealism type shit, and that's where but sometimes this is when keeping it real goes wrong. Okay, it happens. It happens. I have some other ones that almost turned out super cool, but they didn't. I'll have to find one of these.
And I'm glad when they brought into the aspect resolution of 1920 by 1080. I think that was like, oh, thank God, finally.
Yeah. I
could do 16 by 9. No longer 3 by 2 was the original resolution. But yeah, and what Flying Squid was saying, like, yeah,
the top left one.
His Willen's thumbnails. If you guys don't know who Willen is, he's like a big Rust YouTuber. But he has a specific thumbnail artist that works for him, and he makes how many millions of views, per video. So like,
where's this guy's face?
What does that say?
It doesn't do text. It can't do text.
It doesn't do it does, which is weird, because then like even if you type it out specifically, it has the words, it has the lettering, it even has the font of Battlefield. It just doesn't spell Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
all right.
And then when that happens, it ruins the image for me.
Yeah. All right, Buff. I'll see you on the Delatali.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'll catch you all on the Delatali. All right.
Delatali 2042.
The Delatali
2042. What I need in my life.
Yeah, it's not good. There's definitely some issues. I don't know what I created here, but it happens. But there's some cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel for the artist. I'm gonna use it till I'm not supposed to. I don't know.
I'll get sued.
This is something. All right. I don't know what the right answer is, and it's okay to say that. Even if you have a multi-channel, badass first-person news podcast, you don't have to know all the answers, and I don't know what the answer is. I just want everybody to be taken care of, but that's probably not right. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I gotta use it though.
You have to. I'm going to use it. Everyone said I need to use it for my my banner, which I was saying I was using Canva for all of my stuff up till like mid last year. All my thumbnails were made in Canva up till like mid last year. I switched to GIMP.
I'm an Affinity photo guy, man. I love that. It's just like Photoshop.
I was always Photoshop, and I might have gotten Photoshop through other means in the past, but you know I got it now.
Hey, whoa!
Legit. I pay for mine now. I mean, I've always paid for it.
Never did that as a web developer.
Always paid for it. Yes.
Never used websites. To get
you know who's gonna get you? I'm gonna send Blood Pop after you. If you keep
not Blood Pop.
No.
If you're not ethical, Pop. I'm sending Blood Pop to get you, dude. Okay. So
I don't want to be next gen. No.
Right. Just remember
no Gen
that.
Z for me.
All right. Blood Pop will get you, dude. So, no, man. It's tricky. I can't tell you what the right answer is. I can't. I see both sides of it, and in the particular position that we're in, and the other smaller creators, I think you got to use it. My goal though I would love to have a thumbnail artist to help support, dude. Like if I get there, you better believe. Like if my channel ever gets there, I'm gonna do that. Like I want to like help somebody and fund somebody and have someone help me out. I would love to. The shout out to Deadrop, the artist that made our overlays and all that stuff, and he did my original banners and stuff. Like he's so awesome to work with and talented and stuff. And I hope to be able to pay him to do some stuff for me again. I would love to have Deadrop as just my or Big Mike as my thumbnail artist, man. That's dreams right there. Because they make
Big
the best
Mike
shit.
does good stuff, man.
He makes the best shit, dude. It looks so cool. And like Big Mike stuff, it's so, I don't know, man. It's so good and well done. Like AI is never going to be able to do that. Like what he does with the in-dub characters
the
and like
detail. Yeah, like I would send him like a bunch of reference pictures, and he would work with me along the way. Like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And like, you know, he was like the detail that he would put into things. Just you're not going to get that from AI because it's a lot of things that you're specifying along the way. You know,
so
he was putting like specific patches on the soldiers and stuff like that.
It's cool. Yeah, so. He's so good. He's so talented. Deadrop too. Like those. Yeah, and working with an artist is so nice too. Like Big Mike is, as you say, and like Deadrop was. What do you think of this? Like, and giving feedback and changes. I love that.
Right. Exactly.
Hope it gets figured out. I hope in a perfect world, AI would be a tool that they could use to get better at like what they do. If it can help them concept and stuff quicker.
Right.
But man, I don't know. And I don't know where it's going to get for video making either. I mean, there's already, I mean, we could do a podcast on like the implications of AI because there's also been some content creators and streamers that have been like straight up AI generated like VTubers. And they read chat, they react to chat, and the people that create them just leave them up and running, and they make thousands of dollars a day, and they're just AI streamers. So I mean, eventually, you could probably make it like an AI FPS channel that could talk about news as it comes out, interact with chat, and I'll just go outside and smoke cigars and shoot stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think artists being some of the first in this position, I think all of us eventually one day could be put in this position with AI, threatening our livelihoods and stuff. So, because I mean, they're already doing it with streamers. So I don't know why you couldn't have. And now you type in Chat GPT, write me a video script for discussing the new news today. Boom, you feed it to the animation AI. It makes the character, talks about it, gameplay slapped in the background, and it's a video, and it's all AI, and it's automated.
Easy peasy.
And you got just AI voice.
Work smarter, not harder, folks.
Guess so. That's it. Till pretty soon, no one's working at all, and then I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade. That's above my pay grade. I'll tell you that.
I'll sit back and make money, and yeah, I'm just saying.
I wonder if Blood Pop's game's going to be AI generated.
I wonder if Blood Pop is AI generated.
Whoa.
Seems like it.
You hear that, Blood Pop? Man, he's looking at you too, Buff. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like what you said.
Not a big fan of it.
Every
I'm
time
like,
he goes to
stare
shoes,
me.
yes. Oh man.
He might be looking at me. Hard to tell with his hair and his flamingo hair.
And the sunglasses.
Yeah, I don't know.
He looks good. He looks good. So,
Styling and profiling.
do we call that an episode, or do we do chat Q&A real quick? Anybody got to run, or what's up? I don't have a lot of time.
I probably gotta run myself.
We might. What do we do? We might have to have like a chat Q&A episode because we've
I
been
think we
missing
need
it
to.
some. And these
yeah, we should do like a mailbox, almost like a mailbox episode where we take
send us your mail, send us your questions, and we'll sit here and answer them.
Yeah,
I think we might need to do that.
That'd be pretty cool, huh?
Because these videos that we've been having, or these podcasts lately, have been going like almost 2 hours without any questions.
Yeah.
We don't
Bring me in. That's what happens.
Man, there's just a well of content right here, guys.
So much greatness on one show. It's just hard to fathom.
Too much.
It is.
The Matrix is unfolding.
Something like that. And we have 4 today because we had Blood Pop on. So like,
yeah. See, he brings so much to the table.
Yep.
Thanks, Blood Pop.
Shout out, Blood Pop. So anyway, yeah, guys, I think that's going to be an episode. And what an episode it was. I had so much fun. And for everyone who followed along with the cigar,
We got one question.
I'm almost
one answer.
I wouldn't. Odin doesn't have any question. Odin knows everything. Odin knows. So the cigar, I made it this far, and I'm not quite. I'm a little bit lightheaded.
He didn't throw up yet. So.
I almost made it to the label. I need to get some food in me.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I didn't. Odin, I didn't trust it from the start. I didn't trust Odin from the start, dude.
You know, you can't trust him as far as you can throw him.
No, I knew Odin was up to something over there.
Odin knows.
Odin, what's your angle, dude? What's your angle? Come on, man. I'm gonna have to send Blood Pop after Odin too. So anyway, is there Zaza in there? No, man. This is a pure Honduran and Nicaraguan tobacco. Yeah, hand grown, hand picked, hand rolled, deliciousness, smooth as butter. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everyone for being here across the channels. I appreciate it so very much. It's so much fun, man. You guys literally make my Mondays bearable. I look forward to this, and can't thank Buff and Blue for taking time to show up and hang out and talk about video games. So fucking fun. And the audio podcast, shout out to you guys too. I think we're averaging like 56 downloads a week or something. On
Hell
podcast,
yeah, you audio guys.
Which is wild. So those of you in the audio land, thank you so much for checking us out on the go or wherever you find it. It's mind blowing.
You like the sound of my voice.
Yeah. And eventually we'll if we keep growing, we can afford a thumbnail artist. There we go. Yeah. That's where we're at. Let's do it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Until next week, we'll see you in 7 days. I can't wait. And I think we should we got to talk about Doc's game next week. I want to get some more time with it. I didn't get into it because I didn't watch enough of it. So we'll check it next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Great episode. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Dinosaurus Rex. We had Tom Anderson with the gifts.
Bye.